I guess what you are thinking to be aware, what you are thinking towards to others could be the first ever step people can do something good for themselves. And then pausing during the day at least couple of times and noticing what I am thinking in this moment.
Namaste everyone, welcome to another episode of Slice of Nirvana. And this episode is really important and very close to my heart because today I have a teacher with me with whom I've learned quite a bit in Dubai. Her name is Ozge. Welcome to the show, Ozge.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that we are having this conversation and that too on camera today.
Yes, exactly. We did long back, but yeah.
Yes. I mean, of course, I've learned with you yoga philosophy, especially, and I felt that you are the right person whom I should be talking to today.
Thank you.
And, get some insights for everyone out here.
My pleasure. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start with Karma Yoga. It's your baby, right?
Yeah.
You have come up with the concept and look at this beautiful place. It is stunning. Everything out here, it takes you back to the ancient India. And there's a connection which is heartfelt,
It is.
So, if you would like to highlight, how did karma come into picture?
That's a correct way of saying it. Pitched me actually. Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. Well, when we decided to create this place, this was a Korean shell, nothing. And we didn't want to hire any interior designer which will make it more commercial or somebody else's opinion. But instead, we completely took the time. It took a quite long time actually. And we designed, personally I designed piece by piece every corner. All the pieces we have here in the studio is actually ancient. We have quite a lot antique objects here.
Absolutely. The artifacts are beautiful.
Thank you. We were traveling a lot in Asia, many different countries, and we just were going to antique places, auctions, and very much historical stores, let's say, which we can really catch some piece. So we never went to a place and wanted to get many items from the same place and leave. No, we really picked every single item one by one.
Wow. Especially that door, that's my favorite. And I think I remember you mentioned that you got it from a place in India, right?
It's from Bali.
It's from Bali, okay.
It's from Bali. We were searching, these two other doors, we ordered them hand-carved for a village. And then the fifth one, back then I really didn't know why, but I wanted that room to become more for healing purposes. And I was searching something really specifically different for that place. So we were just searching all these inside Bali, very much in the middle of the island in Bali, some warehouses, not even shops.
Wow.
And it was right in the back of the corner of the warehouse full of dust. And I requested the person, can you please clean this dust a bit? I just want to see it really. And he told me, no, forget about it. It is my grandfather made it.
Oh.
I said, then I really want to see it if it is possible.
Yeah.
It even took my attention more, but it means nothing for him. It is beautiful. A lot of ancient carvings on it, actually. From yoga philosophy, a lot of carvings on it.
Absolutely.
Exactly, yeah.
Ozge, yoga, of course, we say now it should be the way of life. But in our daily lives, for the regular people who would want to start this practice, how can they begin? What is that first step that they should take?
In modern yoga, modern way, everybody starts to practice with the asanas, right? So many people, majority of the people actually started knowing yoga through the asanas. But definitely asanas is the small tiny piece of the entire yoga. Yogic lifestyle, in my opinion, should start in your thoughts. Yes. What are you thinking in your daily life is very much important, because because we have biases, we have conditions towards the other people, other nationalities, even though they don't want to accept it, that's the reality, especially here in Dubai. I guess what you are thinking, to be aware, what you are thinking towards the others could be the first ever step people can do something good for themselves. And then pausing during the day at least couple of times and noticing what I am thinking in this moment now. It could be something bad for themselves, it could be something bad towards the other people, but the second they noticed it, one time, two time, three time, maybe the fifth time they will say, it is harming, I should stop.
Sure.
You know?
So it's the process of this awareness, which takes a little bit of work on ourselves.
Yeah.
So even now, youngsters are very curious to practice, the wellness practices, I would say, not just yoga, but they are finding it really interesting to get into this space.
Yeah.
And we especially see a trend now. When I was in Alula for the wellness festival, there were a lot of young people. And even in Dubai, at all the festivals, we see a lot of youngsters are, joining the moment. So do you think that even at the studio, you see a lot of young people coming in?
Yes, even the teacher trainings, yoga teacher trainings, we have like the youngs who cannot even drive in the country yet. The parents were dropping them like dropping a school. It happened many times, not one, not two, many times, which is a very good thing. But this awareness coming from the parents for sure. For sure.
Of course, your environment pushes you to, do certain things. And if there is this in the family, then of course it comes in very naturally.
Especially mothers, I would say. Especially mothers. Once they are into these mindfulness practices or meditation or kindness in a way, then they start talking in that way to their children, and then their children will just little bit get awareness on it.
Ozge, do you also teach prenatal and postnatal yoga?
As a teacher training, no. As classes we have yes and no, but as a teacher training, no.
Ozge, I come from India, so I've seen yoga, on a very large space. I've seen parents doing it, I've seen a lot of people around practicing yoga. But for you, how did it, come into your life? You were in Turkey, if I'm not wrong.
Well, actually, that's a very interesting point. I met with yoga in Qatar because I moved from Turkey to Qatar first, and as being a single woman back then, more than 10 years ago, around 14 years ago, in Qatar, working for corporate was not very much easy thing in that environment. And then I discovered, and there wasn't many things to do in the country anyway. And then I just saw a yoga class, and completely by chance, something inside me started telling me, go. And it was very far from my home, actually, in the evening. And I started going 1, 2, 3. I liked it. And all my friends in Turkey were, when I was telling them I started yoga, they were making fun of me. That, it's very boring. You sit, you just,
That's the perception about yoga, right?
Very wrong. I said, no, because in the gym, when you are moving your body, you can think anything you want to think. Your body is doing one thing, your mind is still in the office or wherever it is. Whereas in yoga, you are fully there, present, on the ground. This is very important. Yes. And it really became like me time, my time, fully, with the mind, with the soul, with the body, everything. That moment, I really fall in love with yoga. Actually.
And did you quit corporate right after that?
No. Unfortunately, no. It took a while.
Okay.
It was just 6 years ago for me.
Actually, we can't talk about in detail about the 8 limbs of yoga, but if you could talk in, precisely in short, explaining what 8 limbs of yoga is and how it's important.
I always tell also in my sessions, like we talk a lot, they are the tools how we can live forward in our life while still staying in the yogic lifestyle, in that spiritual lifestyle. I believe especially yamas, niyamas, the first 2 limbs, are really the very toolbox for us. They are the guideline for us. For any purpose, anything in the day life, you go back to them, you put them on the paper, you just read again, it works.
Yes.
It works for any condition. It just works.
And discipline is something which you really, in general, not just in yoga, I think discipline makes our life so much more easier. And I think yoga is one of the practices which teaches us that.
Yeah, that's true. It brings the discipline.
Yes.
How you eat, how you sleep, again, how you talk, how you think, right?
Yes.
Eventually, step by step, everything becomes into the discipline because you don't want to be hypocrite and contradictory yourself, right? What you are saying, what you are reading should be part of your life, and then you see it is beneficial for you, and then you
Absolutely.
continue step by step. Yeah, exactly.
Ozge, there are so many forms of yoga these days, you know. If you just go Google it, you will see that there are hundreds of forms of yoga. Do you think they make sense to you, or they're just a fad? Like, you know, people are creating, I don't know, different styles and different names for yoga.
Now, of course, from one angle, it is a very good thing. One way to another, people start joining into yoga environment, let's say, or they start saying the word of yoga without knowing what does it mean.
Like they're starting somewhere.
somewhere. Because, you know, we even in the studio, because we don't have those so much modern, different naming,
Sure.
we try to be more traditional in a way. Even here in the studio, the students who tries many different ways of yoga, where sometimes they tell me I don't believe it exists actually. After some time, their soul, the heart knows what it should be actually. Their soul tells them, okay, what you are doing is somehow correct, but let's go a proper place to do the proper way of yoga, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is not the ideal case, I agree what you mean, but better than zero, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just adds on to a little fun element in your life that, okay, you are doing yoga, but at the same time, it sounds very fancy and nice.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, for example, cacao ceremony, it sounds very fancy to me.
But it is, you know, from Mayans. It's a tradition from Mayans, and from Mayans it passed to the Incas, to Peru, and then all this time it just continued. Cacao itself became the money in the history. So instead of using money in the trading, the cacao beans. So cacao was very much valuable thing. Cacao itself, and also cacao ceremonies itself. So it's a very ancient tradition.
Coming back to karma, I mean, for those who don't know, of course, I've been here and, you know, I am often like teach here now with you.
Exactly.
So what is it that people can expect here in terms of meditation, yoga, overall wellness?
We really try to stick with the traditional types of yoga classes. So we have the Ashtanga in a primary way, Hatha and Vinyasa classes. That's our most of the schedule, let's say. For the beginners, we have more stretch classes so that they can stretch quite a little bit. From the very much latest modern yoga types, we have Yin Yoga, which is half meditative. Mostly we stick with the more traditional ways. Even the teachers, I mean, chanting Om in the class is a pleasure for us. It's, of course, if the teacher is comfortable, please do that too. Also chanting mantras and all of these, more than welcome in our studio because it makes the whole class as a whole, I can say. Meditations, 2 years ago we decided to have the wellness part. So how we started having meditation class every single day, every single weekday, and the weekends we have different workshops, but again, meditation-based workshops, not physical practices. And then we have also all holistic trainings followed by. All this came like as a chain, one to another.
Are you planning to expand in other countries, or Dubai is going to be the place?
For Karma Yoga, Dubai is going to be the place. I believe it's becoming hub because we are getting a lot of people from GCC countries already for our trainings. A lot. Whereas, yes, we are planning to expand Turkey for the retreats.
Okay.
To open
that's a
our
wonderful
own
idea.
retreat place.
That would be amazing. Ozge, you made these candles you mentioned before.
Yes, in the kitchen.
Really? In the
Really.
kitchen, and they look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. How long does it take for you to kind of make this?
Making candle is not very long, but because I use in them real essential oils,
Okay.
lavender essential oil from my land in Turkey.
So you get it from Turkey?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Totally organic. There we have to wait around 3 weeks after making the candle, so essential oil can really be absorbed in the candle. So around 3 weeks, let's say, in a month.
I think it adds to the overall vibe of karma yoga, right? Where you have these beautiful artifacts and then the beautiful, decor. I think it's just perfect. It's a good addition, right?
It fits, yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I personally love them. I talk to them. As you know me, I like talking objects. So yeah, I talk to them. I give my heart, I give my soul. So yeah.
I mean, that's how you even teach, with your heart and soul. And
Thank you.
that can be felt. So yeah. Can you explain the concept of finding your chi in yoga practice?
Without chi, life is not possible, no?
Yeah, that's true.
It's in everywhere in the body. You just close your eyes, couple of breaths, bring your hands together. Inside your palms, you will start feeling it straight away. And it's the reason of appreciation. That's it. I am alive. That's beautiful. It's just around you. Chi is the life force energy, right? The thing makes you come out of your bed in the morning is your life force energy. You just appreciate it. It's just you as you are. The thing you are able to decide, the thing you are able to eat, even comes from your chi. So every breath should be actually be grateful about the chi. Yeah.
Can we enhance our chi to a higher level?
Yes, of course, it is in your hand. In fact, a lot of researches shows that it is in our hands more than others' hands. The happiness really comes from us.
Yeah.
When we compliment ourselves, they measure the frequencies. It's quite easy
Of course,
today, right?
of course.
So when you compliment yourself, your frequency increases and then it stays in the body really longer time than somebody else compliments you.
Nowadays, there's so much stress, anxiety in the corporate lives. Of course, we all have different facets that we are, working on in our corporate jobs. And what are these tips, like simple tips? We don't want something extraordinary, but simple tips that these working professionals can use in their daily lives.
Breath is the
Yes.
best friend ever, I always say. Whenever you feel that heart is a bit pumping faster and that blood is like boiling inside, close your eyes
And breathe.
and then breathe. But how to breathe? Breathe from belly,
Belly,
and
yes.
then carry it to the chest and then exhale.
Yes.
3-4 times, make it long, make it soft, no rush. And depends, you can give a color if you want. I am breathing in pink and wherever, right? Or you just count your breath, or nothing. You just simply follow your breath.
But this is the most difficult breathing because we usually don't breathe from our stomach, from our belly. We are almost breathing from here.
Yeah.
So we are kind of obstructing this way. Yes.
Which actually creates the anxiety,
Anxiety.
frustration, anger. It is the third chakra.
Yes.
And because we are mostly breathing from the chest, the bottom side of the body is lacking chi. And the breath and the chi is always together.
Connected.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So out of the 7 chakras, of course, each chakra is important.
Uh-huh.
But as a layman, if someone has to say, okay, I'm going to focus more on this particular chakra, of course, it goes back to, their lifestyle, how they feel about things. But for you, if you have to pick up one chakra for a layman, what would it be?
Solar plexus, third
Solar
chakra.
plexus, yes.
I see in Dubai the third one is over dominant. Over dominant everybody becomes more masculine. Although you see a woman wearing a pink color and all of this beautiful and makeup, but still deep inside that ego and show off and etiquette is over the sky, and that's pretty much solar plexus chakra.
So let's talk about now balancing of masculine and the feminine side, because you rightly mentioned, because say for example, you as a single parent, me as a single parent, we are doing both the roles in our life. So even if we don't try to become masculine, but there is a part of us
Of
which
course.
kind of, pushes us to do that, because you are taking care of the whole show at home, and yet maintaining your femininity. So, of course, one of the best ways to do is maintaining through Nari Shodhan Pranayam, that you maintain your, both sides and come at a little bit normal situation. But what are the basic things that people can do? Very basic things. Of course, breathing is one thing. What other things that they can do on a conscious level?
To balance feminine and masculine sides. Giving and receiving is important. I see also a lot of people do one or another.
That's true.
Giving and receiving. When you are becoming more masculine, you are more dominant. You highly likely keep giving. It makes you more masculine. You want to control the home, control the school, control this and all of these things. You want to be control on everything.
So giving in a relationship, for example, if we given more love, if we given more time, so is that a masculine
But
characteristic?
that's an action.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Whereas the feminine should be a bit of passive, a bit of calm about receiving, asking help. However, today's woman, like me, one of them for sure, needs to be strong, needs to be standing straight, shouldn't show the emotions, shouldn't cry, shouldn't, it's weakness, right? And actually it's not weakness. It is what we need.
It is what we naturally are.
Exactly.
It's connecting to your root, actually.
Exactly.
But it's so difficult to do that, because you live in a world where, as a woman, I feel that I've been giving. And then there's not a lot coming in return,
I know. And the moment you stop giving and start asking, you will be finger pointed.
Exactly.
I
So
know.
how do you deal with that?
You should be centered. It's your heart center. Your right shoulder, your left shoulder. They are the receiving and giving. The second you are centered and you know I deserve it, that is the sentence.
Beautiful. So just for this, I would like to do a follow-up wherein, Ozge, how can one arrive at a point where, they're balancing it, not just giving, but also receiving, they're at a balanced level. And of course, that would make them happy, make them feel more loved. They will feel the care, kindness, etc. And I think that's what makes a person complete in many ways,
Yes,
right?
yes.
What is it that they can do?
I guess the key sentence for it is you are the center. Again, if I go back to Mayans, I love their culture. The spiral is also in sacred geometry. Starts with a point and then expands the consciousness more and more. And a spiral at the end is always open, meaning you can continue expanding. It's a never-ending journey. But you are the center. When we start giving others more, then center is not the center anymore.
Right.
That everything just becomes unbalanced because of that. Once we know we are the center and I have demands, I have rights, I deserve to be happy, there I am the center. But from there, yes, I am expanding, I am still giving. I am not alone, together, my partner, my family, but I have that center.
Exactly.
That's what we usually forget.
Sure. We have spoken earlier about self-love in one of the classes,
yes,
I think. And of course, self-love is now being talked about a lot. And sometimes people come and say, these women are only talking about self-love. I hear it all the time. Just because you are opening yourself. Because you want to love yourself, there's nothing wrong in it. But there is a thing that, okay, why are you always talking about self-love? Can you highlight on this point?
Pretty much linked to these two subjects, actually. Self-love is, but it is important because, as Buddha says, if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. To love others should be unconditional. it shouldn't be the love that I love that person because the person is giving me this is that. And to reach that unconditional love, you should be accepting and loving yourself first. Then you can love others, right? It is not I have that self-love, so I am independent and I am selfish. And this is the understanding many people. I know.
Exactly, that's what they think.
I heard it. Oh, you have the self-love that you don't need anyone in your life because you are... No, it's not.
It's not
It
that,
is not.
exactly. Yeah.
It is
I'm learning myself enough to love you enough.
Exactly.
You know?
So but let me love myself.
Yeah.
Let me accept myself. So I will definitely love and accept you as you are. Otherwise, I am not having peace inside me. I will be having fight inside me subconsciously. But consciously, out loud, I will be having fight with you too because I want to control you. I want to change you, right? But again, once I am centered, then you are welcome to be in my life. It's going to be more peaceful.
True.
Yeah.
Ozge, trauma is such a, such a big topic of discussion because people who have gone through trauma at some point in their life, the life ahead becomes very difficult for them. Even if they've left that abusive relationship, even if they've, let go of those things, but it kind of impacts overall in their life cycle. So how can they, begin this journey because they've already been in a crazy traumatic situation?
In yoga, we accept everything as an experience. Nothing bad, nothing good.
True.
You never know the things looking like very bad today, after 6 months turned out to be the best thing for you, or the other way around. We really don't know after 6 months. Nobody knows.
Sure.
As of today, the only thing we can get rid of those trauma kind of deep emotions is acceptance. You accept. Of course, we are human beings. We will cry, stay under the blanket, and all of this. However, it's gonna pass. Everything passes. And experience stays. That's the important part. Yeah.
Okay. Now we have a fun rapid fire round, which is called Speedy Nirvana. So we're going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
And you can give us some cool short answers.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 things you would carry to a monastery if you would ever go.
Monastery. Oh, wow. A book. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, most probably.
Oh, beautiful.
And an instrument I would love to have. Maybe drum, my drum, I guess. Candle.
Okay. A candle, drum, and a book. A city which resonates with your spirit.
A what?
A city which resonates
Bali.
with your... Bali. Your spirit animal.
Flamingo.
Sensuality or sexuality?
Oh, that's difficult. Sexuality, I would say.
3 tips to revive your chi.
Stay in the moment. Breathe. Smile.
Veganism in 1 word or plant-based diet in 1 word.
Healthy way of living if it is not abused.
Socially involved or detachment? Where do you slot in?
Involved.
Involved.
I like. Yeah.
Moksha or $1 million?
Moksha.
Define nirvana in a sentence.
Liberation.
Best retreat in the world?
Oh, top of a mountain.
Okay, now we just want 1 word. Love is?
Life.
Life is?
Oh, love.
Passion is?
Hardworking.
Sensuality is?
Spirituality.
Thank you, Ozge, so much for talking to us today. Of course, I've heard these insights from you personally, but I'm happy that now I can bring it on camera and a lot more people can actually listen to it. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching us today. So Karma Yoga is a really important part of my life here in Dubai because when I was studying in Rishikesh, I wanted to, I lost a little bit of my time and I wanted to come back and restart it in Dubai, and Karma Yoga was the place where I came in first, and I've had such a beautiful experience, and I again reconnected with myself or reconnected with the practices, and I'm now coming here regularly and also sometimes even taking community classes. So yeah, it's been a great journey here, and I'm quite grateful to be here again sitting with Ozge. Thank you so much for watching today, and stay tuned for the next episode.